Tune in for the next few minutes to find out why a suspected or mild diagnosis of fatty liver is a good time to start liver flushing and why you don't really want to wait much longer. If you know someone who has fatty liver or suspects fatty liver, possibly you can send this video to them to hopefully inspire the possibility of change at home. I'm Sienna Songbird, founder of the Liberate Your Liver movement, where we are working to liberate the world one liver at a time. Disclaimer, this is not medical advice, and please seek the advice of your doctor if you are moving to implement any sort of new health regimen. Okay, let's get into it. So there's a variety of different kind of diagnoses that fall under the category of fatty liver. Some might say they have some fatty liver, or they've been told they have mild fatty liver, or they've been told they have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD. If you even sort of suspect that you might be moving towards fatty liver, this is a really good time to take heed and make some big changes before it progresses much worse. So what do these diagnoses really mean? Well, the majority of stones in the liver and gallbladder consist of harmless bile constituents, which include a high percentage of cholesterol. This makes them basically invisible on X-ray and ultrasound technologies, which is different than the gallstones in the gallbladder, which have a much more concentrated constituents of minerals, calcium salts, and bile pigments. Those ones, once they're hardened and larger, can be picked up by some of the scanning technology where they usually miss the softer non-calcified stones in the liver. So how do they actually pick up the fatty liver? It's actually when there's excessive amounts of these cholesterol-based putty-like stones that are blocking the bile ducts that have grown to thousands and thousands of these stones. In such a case, the ultrasound picture will show a liver that looks almost completely white instead of black on the screen. A fatty liver might have up to 20,000 stones before it really starts to succumb to suffocation and cease total functioning. If you had a fatty liver and went to the doctor, he might tell you you have fatty structures in the liver, but he might not be really that prone to tell you that they are intrahepatic stones. But that is the official term for them now, which are the stones that are in the liver. And again, using the word stones is a little bit of a misnomer because they're really more like fatty globules, little deposits, putty-like fat stones. When these little fat globules are building up in the bile ducts, they are causing the cells to cut down on bile production. Blood circulation is going to be decreased. Eventually, nerve fibers will be damaged, and eventually cirrhosis develops when liver cells suffocate from lack of circulation and flow of bile and other nutrients, and eventually leads to liver cirrhosis. So there aren't really a lot of methods offered to treat fatty liver in conventional medical system, and this is what leads to the really amazing tool that we have at our own hands from our own homes, which is the liver flush, which is a tool that allows us to work with the mechanics of the body to actually move fatty matter, fatty material, those cholesterol globs out of the liver. So over time, we can skim out that fattiness from the liver. I just wanted to show you guys quickly an image of a fatty liver, and as you can see here, you can see it almost looks like there are globules under the surface, and these stones over time they actually build up and they distend the ducts of the liver and the gallbladder, and that's why you have this sort of bulging aspects of the fatty liver. Again, like just to compare, we can see an image of some typical stones that might be flushed out of the liver, and you can really see how those could translate into this sort of bulging bulging look of the fatty liver. Just as sort of a final look-see, we also can see how the liver is so full of ducts. This is just a little scratching the surface of, an illustration of the amount of ducts in the liver. But each of these ducts can be sort of distended around these fat globules, these cholesterol stones. Again, they're soft, putty-like, which is why they don't show up so well on these scans. So hopefully that's helpful to show a little bit about why it can be so impactful to remove, to apply a procedure where we can actually flush these fat globules out of the liver. And if you suspect fatty liver, or you're moving in that direction, or it's mild at this point, just know that the trajectory is generally going to get worse, and the liver will eventually succumb to parts of it dying off, suffocating, and this is when we get cirrhosis. So if you're in that stage before that, it's really it's a sign to take some really drastic action if you want to save your liver function. And the liver is amazing and really, really great at regeneration. So there is hope, but it gets dicier and more difficult the further developed this kind of process is. I just wanted to share one little testimonial from a 63-year-old female who had completed 4 liver flushes, and the report after 3 months and 4 flushes was that she no longer had fatty liver, and her doctor was recommending for her to remove the gallbladder, but after these 4 flushes and showing and taking new pictures, the doctor no longer felt like she needed to remove the gallbladder. And of course, this is just one individual and one story. It can take a lot more than 4 flushes to recover, depending on what stage you're in. But if you are interested in taking on that work and doing the deep healing work to turn this around for yourself, which will likely include dietary changes and possibly lifestyle changes as well, you are welcome to reach out for support. And you can also check out my YouTube channel, Songbird In Service, for a lot more information on these subjects. Wishing you all a beautiful day. May all